Write this down so you don't have any issues. You ready?
Yep.
VikingLocks.com.
Here's the number, 407-308-0303. That's Viking Lock Service. Put it in your phone, because if you get locked out of your car one day, give them a call. It's 20% off if you mention Tom and Dan. So first you'll get that.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get some call center. You're going to get local professionals
a real human.
that have been doing this for a long time, that are going to come and not screw anything up and get you back into your car if you need it, because they've been doing it for a long time. And they're a small business. They support us, support them.
Easy to remember, Viking. Just think, think like Vikings. Put it in your phone, and don't be like us. Don't ruin your whole day of boating. Don't ruin your whole day of vacation, or you went to the mall just because you're not prepared. Be slightly prepared.
Yeah, they'll have you in and out of your, back into your car in an emergency like this. So that's the easiest thing to do. Save it. VikingLocks.com.
Boom.
Also, if you're looking for some great counter service seafood, the Current Seafood Restaurant in College Park.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and put together a new location on Colonial somewhere.
Yeah.
It's happening very, very soon. But yeah, if you want something that's really tasty, is healthy, that isn't necessarily fast food, but you want it quick.
Yes, because the counter service, really high quality.
It's the way to go.
There's craft beers.
Yeah, if you got a well-behaved dog, it's a dog-friendly patio. You can sit outside for a very reasonable price. You could have a margarita, a fish sandwich, sit outside with your dog in the sunshine and enjoy the weather right now.
Get some shrimp for appetizer.
Jeez Louise, dude, the weather right now is why we live in Florida.
Yeah.
Go to the Current Seafood counter and tell them that Tom and Dan sent you. We love those guys.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on YouTube and Twitch, and we'd love it if you join us. Just search for @TomandDanLive.
With us in studio to talk about a weird job.
A weird job.
Also to promote his Who's the Baddie podcast.
It's a great podcast.
The founder and host of Who's the Baddie.
Yes, indeed.
Our buddy Matt.
Yeah. Some say the baddest of the bad.
Well, thanks, guys. And Cabin Boy, for those really old school Real Radio listeners that from 2005 that still are checking us out.
I wasn't going to say
They knew it was you.
Honestly, I told myself this morning, I was like, you know what? Today's the day. Cabin Boy dies today. You call him Matt. You call him, he's a dad now. Beautiful daughter, beautiful wife, loving family.
I was going to say it if he didn't.
Were you going to say it?
Because I have to.
It's all right. Familiarity. We talked about
I'm on his show. He's like, Tom, you may know him as Drunky. He did it to me.
Well, listen. Okay, so you guys have both done my new podcast, Who's the Baddie?
Yeah,
Tom,
it's great.
Your episode's out today. We talked about Shawshank Redemption. But I did, the listeners, we don't know where they're coming from with the podcast, and there's some new ones. And I introduced myself as Cabin Boy and you as Drunky just so people could understand our backstory. We talk about that a little bit in the podcast that's out today. So I want people to understand where it all comes from, so they know we're not just a couple of random dudes in Orlando.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because I do the same thing, but then I constantly yell at myself. I'm like, whoever's listening, they know already. They know the backstory. They know you.
But they don't. But they do.
Yeah.
But then no one's listening, so does it matter? That's what I say. Do they? Do they not? Or are they listening?
None of it. You can say anything.
A wise man once said, some people may be listening. Also, there may be nobody listening.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. Nobody knows.
That's it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I heard somebody say that recently.
So Matt,
do you want to? I did some music because I know. Look, we got to do the Weird Job Wednesday theme songs and stuff like that. Do you want to?
Yes, but first I want to ask Matt, how's father life?
Oh, very good. We have to check in. Check in with a newer dad.
Sure, it's good. It's way better than I expected it to be. I'm having a ton of fun with my kid. She's, I guess it's still in months because she's 20 months, so she's pushing 2. And she's just really fun all around. I'm having a great time. She's very interactive now, so it's cool.
Yeah, once they kind of get a personality, it becomes a whole different ball game, and it is hard to explain that to people. It's hard to explain to people why you would want to sacrifice time and sleep and all of that. It's also hard to articulate the feeling inside your chest, at least that I get. Like mine is almost like a form of positive anxiety, where I get the same feeling that I get of that dread triggering. Like if I see Maisie do something that I love, I get like a hot love feeling inside of me. Very hard to explain. Hot love is what I call it.
It's chemicals.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm like, this is wonderful.
So I know I've bitched about this before.
But we know you're going to do it again. And you know what? You have a radio show. You have a radio show for bitching about stuff, man.
This may not be correct, all right?
That should be the name of our new show. The name of our new show is This May Not Be Correct.
But I want you to know, I believe it is. And
we know you believe everything you say is correct. We know that.
And I know it is. So, before we start the show, Matt was explaining, and I get this from a lot of new parents, and I was like this.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, I fell for it too, just like everybody else. But Matt was explaining he took his daughter to the pediatrician, just like we all have to.
Yeah.
Because they want to make the money, so they say every 6 months you have to go. Even though babies are babies, they're always fun. Anyway, so
that's a Tom Van guarantee.
You go to the pediatrician, and then when you leave, they give you a little card. They're like, your baby is in some sort of percentile, right? Based on height.
It's a baby war. It's how you compare your baby against other babies.
And then you get the card.
It's how you know that you've got the best baby.
You're like, whoa, 95?
Yeah,
that's an A. And then you're like,
that's a big boy. That's a big girl.
And then you leave happy that you just paid $90 or whatever your copay is.
I feel like you've also tricked yourself into thinking anything that you did contributed to the percentile.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
That's the trick. That's the trick.
And I totally believe that all these pediatricians just got together at one time. I don't even know when they started this. We didn't have this when we were kids. No one gave us
I did
our parents. You did?
Yeah, I had it. I can't let you do that.
I think I did
but
too.
you were a preemie.
I 100% had
so
all
they
the
had
percentiles.
But your preemie, they had to
so
give.
they only gave out percentiles to preemies?
Yes, because you were born.
I don't think this is a new thing.
Some sort of mutant.
No.
I don't know what a preemie is. Anyway,
this isn't new. But it is more. I'd say they put more emphasis on it now. But it's not a new thing.
They just give it to random any kid that is healthy or whatever. They give you the card. They're like 95 or whatever percentile, and you get it. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then you tell all your friends. You're like, hey, I got a 95. Or then this is why I did it too.
Yeah, the chat room. They all had percentiles. Right. Thank you for backing me up because this guy speaks like everything he says is right.
Hold on.
And it is not right.
They've been doing this since the 80s.
Everybody,
I think I used to have it, man, when I was a kid.
Really?
And I'm an 80s
don't let him
baby.
scare you into not telling your truth. You're allowed to tell your truth. Don't let him intimidate you.
I think so.
Yeah, I just told you, but you didn't believe me. I told you, you're like, no, you're a mutant preemie. It's like, no, they had percentiles. But it's not. It's a bigger emphasis now, I would say. Yeah, the whole pediatrician thing is bigger, but they did have percentiles back in the day.
Okay, well, here's what I believe, is that those percentiles mean nothing, and it's just a marketing thing for the parent to whatever.
But what's the positive outlook? Like, what do you get for having a kid in the 99th percentile?
Yeah, well, what I mean is that nothing that won't determine if they're actually tall or short.
They tell you it can change.
Yeah, so it changes. Like I was told, like Max was in the 90 or Tommy or whatever one. They're both shortest in their class.
So you misunderstood it and thought they were going to stay in that percentile.
Well,
that's on you for not reading what that says. The percentile changes.
Well, if
they're just telling you what the kid is at the time. They're not telling you what the kid's going to be. It's not predicting the future.
Well, then what is it there for?
Telling you what the child is. How he's running now. It's like if you took your car.
What does it matter though? If it goes up and down.
Like if you take your car and you're like your car efficiency is running at this point and you have this amount of gas in it. You know, it's like something like that.
Yeah, but just like Matt, we think when we're told 90th percentile, we're like, oh, we're gonna have a tall kid. That's weird because I'm pretty
But I think that's
average.
I think that's our fault for not knowing. That I do it too. Like you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, but it's a grading of the time.
I think it's more about like health because if your kid is like in the 40th percentile, I don't know this for sure, but it might show like they're malnourished or they need you have to change their diet and you have to my brother had a preemie baby that was in like the bottom percentile. He wasn't able to hold food down for a long time, so they had to stay overnight at the hospital, give him IVs, do all kind of whatever.
Yeah, a fellow mutant.
Well,
a fellow mutant.
I heard talking about your brother.
X-Men.
Yeah,
Me and the other X-Men out there. Yeah, we got Professor X over here.
Oh, I don't mean that for other preemies.
Professor X.
I don't mean that for other preemies.
Just the one that helps make you money. Yeah, this guy.
I was only saying preemie because then if there's an actual medical problem, you need to know if your kid is growing right.
He's backpedaling his bike into Miami Syndrome land.
If you're healthy, who cares what percentage? If it fluctuates, it only matters if I know my kid's going to be tall or short when they're adults.
Ours changed, and they said it could change. Like when we took Maisie, they were like, "Oh, she's in the 99th percentile for height," and then they were like, and then the next time we brought her, they're like, sorry, 60s.
Well, why did they even give it to us?
Well, that's because we were talking about because I told you that my daughter. So I'm a shorty. I'm 5'7". My wife's 5'2", and our daughter.
I'm an ultra shorty. That's what I call it. Ultras
is above the 100th percentile for a kid of her age. She's not even 2. She's like 20 months old, and she's 32 pounds and 3 feet tall. And they had to like double check that. But she's in daycare with all 2-year-olds, and she's the biggest kid in the class. And it doesn't make any sense because we're tiny people.
So what I'm saying is that card better mean that she's going to be 6 foot tall. And if she's not, if she just ends up at 5'4", right between you and your wife, then you're going to storm back there, and you're going to be like, why are you giving us these cards? Because you falsely made me think my daughter was going to be tall, and then I'm telling my friends, all for nothing.
No, it was your limited intellect believing the card. They're telling, it's just a grade of what's happening. It's the baseline for and like the chat room's even saying that too. It's not just height. It's height and weight and all across the board, like Cabin is saying, health.
Yeah, but does it mean a prediction of the future?
No, they've never said that. I don't believe that, and I'll say this again, and you're not going to believe it. I don't believe the doctor takes the card, hands it to you, and says, "Here is your prediction card." That's not what the doctor is doing.
They don't say that, but they give you the card for what reason?
People with limited intellect get it, don't read it fully, and then believe it's a prediction card from a wizard. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm just saying. Well, you know how many dumb people are out there like me?
I do know how many.
That's what I'm talking. That's who I'm talking to. You guys are smart enough to realize that card is not a prediction. I thought it was a prediction.
Getting that mad when the predictions don't come true. You know, like imagine the feeling in my dad's heart when he got his card. My God, like nothing written on it. It's literally a blank card.
Let's do some weird job.
All right. So normally we do a Weird Job Wednesday theme song. I'm getting tired of doing the same one over and over. So now I wrote a song that is of a specific origin, like a specific profession. You know the guy that sucks out all the doo-doo from the porta potties? Well, yep. I wrote him a song. He has his own song. He will now be immortalized with this brand new song. It is a vintage country western song in the style of the Pioneers. Here we go. Little Sons of the Pioneers action for you.
I get up at 3, put on these boots, insulated gloves, and a whole damn suit. And I bet you're asking, what do I do? You know, porta potties, I suck their poo. I suck their poo. It's what I do. You love events, well, good for you. When the party's over and the band is through and you're kissing her, I'll be sucking poo.
There you go.
Wow.
That goes out to all our sewermen out there who are currently sucking poo.
Yeah. That's
a hard job.
That's a hard
job, man. That's one of the roughest. And I think we've actually talked to those guys before, and I don't think they hate it as much as we think they would. They actually kind of like it, I think, you know?
It's manual labor mixed with doo-doo, which,
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those.
Rough.
It's a rough go.
But, so we're here with Matt, and we want to talk about your first original job that got you the Cabin Boy name, correct?
Yeah, actually, that's true. It did. Oh God, that song gives me chills in a bad way.
I was wondering if I played this, if you would be triggered, because
cow.
How many times do you think you've heard the Yo-Ho Pirate's Life for Me song?
Oh my God, 10,000 probably. And then when I was doing real radio and I was Cabin Boy, they played that all the time too. It just basically from the age of 18 to the age of 28, I couldn't escape that song multiple times a day.
Was it your first job down here?
In Orlando, yeah. Well, okay, so I did the Disney college program for any...
doesn't that mean that you just have wild sex?
No,
anybody that I know...
That's what I saw.
I just call it like I see it now because I'm almost 50. I'm 50 and I can't. I'll just call it like I see it. Anybody I know that talks about the Disney, any Disney college program, orgy crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so
all of them orgies.
Apparently, like in the 80s and 90s, it was like that, but they went on lockdown because the apartments you stay at are called Vista Way, and they used to call them Vista Lay. But then,
who thought of that? My God.
And I did it in 2002 is when I did the college program, and they come to your school. I was at Penn State. And they come once a year and they try to recruit kids. And, you go and you hey
there, Cabin Boy.
Wait in line all day and you talk to the recruiters and it's this big pitch. Hey, you're going to work for a Fortune 500 company and this is going to further your career and it's going to look great on your resume. And you take a semester off of school and it's going to be brilliant. And then you go to Orlando and you are working for $6 an hour selling plastic pirate swords for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you have to live in the Disney housing. They automatically deduct the rent out of your paycheck. So they're getting you every which way Disney is that they can. And they're working you to death. I do have really good memories of those years. Like, it was a really fun 6 months doing it. A couple of the people I met are still some of my best friends to this day, my roommates. It was fun, but man, it is not the most glamorous of internships.
I bet.
Yeah, nothing is as good as they portray it to be.
No.
Social media has told us, we watch...
It's as simple as a food photo at a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
If you're let down there, what makes you think that you're going to see photos of college kids at Disney? Look at me foraging. Look at me. I'm actively creating a resume. Really?
And then you tell yourself, I have fond memories of going to Disney World. That would be an awesome place to work. And then when you're working there, you're like, oh, this is just a giant mega corporation.
Right. And then when you look back too, though, you only remember the good stuff about it because there were really fun times. And we talked, Daniel, when you came on to my podcast, who's the baddie? We talked about it for a little while too because I started out with the Pirates, but then then I went back to school. I moved back to Orlando. And I worked at Real Radio, but I was interning for free for a year, or maybe even longer than that. And I was picking up odd jobs, so I was doing Disney as much as I could. Disney and the Hard Rock Cafe.
So once a pirate, always a pirate, right?
No, you
can't just go get there I'm dusting off my sword and getting back in the game.
Well, they were moving me around, so I did a couple other jobs at Disney. One of them I did what they call the glow carts. So whenever you go, you have the fireworks at the end of the night, right?
Yeah.
I was one of the people that would push the cart of toys around and sell them to the kids.
Oh, you contributed to that island out in the Pacific. Right? You're a part of that. Yeah. You're actively part of destroying the earth.
How does it feel selling someone a plastic piece of garbage that Disney bought for 5 cents?
And it's got a half-life. The best part about the glow stuff,
$28.
The best part of the glow stuff is once you sell it, you realize that's going to be dead in the morning. So it's dead.
Yeah, so to that point, it is all crap, but they expect you when at the height of it, when it's dark out before the fireworks start, kids are just running to your cart full speed, grabbing toys. Sometimes their parents are paying, sometimes they're not. They literally build into the price a certain amount of theft. So it's not like, hey, you sold this much, how much money do you have? It's like, how much was stolen tonight? Oh, only $100? Okay, good job. They barely took anything off your
cart. We should have done that with our subscription for our podcast. We didn't build any theft, and everybody's stealing our podcast.
If you sell one plastic wand, it pays for 5 carts of garbage.
Yeah.
So they're like, it doesn't matter. Our margins are high.
God.
That was actually one of my favorite jobs, though, because every night once the fireworks started, everybody just kind of stood around. So I got to see the fireworks show at Disney every night and just kind of chill.
That is pretty cool.
It was pretty fun. And but
didn't it ruin fireworks for you? Like seeing too many fireworks sometimes, you're like, well, I've seen this all. It's not exciting anymore.
No, because Disney, like, they orchestrate it to music, and it's like a whole production and a whole show. It's really like you're getting like an experience out of it.
Do you have to dress like a dickhead?
Oh yeah. It's like white parachute pants and then a black and white striped like referee shirt.
Hold on, that's what I'm wearing, right? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm bringing back my parachute pants.
So back to Pirates of the Caribbean for a second, because
is it the best ride? Let's cuss and discuss quickly. I mean, is that the money?
No,
is that the money ride?
Space Mountain, I think.
At Magic Kingdom, really?
I think it's because Space Mountain's like a roller coaster. Pirates is really famous. It's probably the best gift shop. Everybody always comes and buys all the pirate memorabilia.
Yeah,
but
beautiful gift shop, huge gift shop.
Yes,
I like when they took out the raping pirate.
Yeah, he was my favorite pirate.
And they're like, at one point in time,
where they put him?
Some executives are like, we can't have a pirate chasing a woman.
Yeah, now they
because his intention, he does not care if she doesn't want it.
Yeah. He's gonna burn her. He's gonna burn her alive. He's gonna burn her alive.
The fact that she's running away tells everybody she doesn't want it, and he obviously doesn't care about it.
Do you know where they put him? Do you know where they put that pirate? Because it's still... now they have the lady. They also don't sell a lady anymore.
What do you mean?
They used to sell a woman.
Really?
Yeah, there used to be like a scene in Pirates of the...
there was an auction?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't think they sell a woman anymore. And then they took the raping...
prostitute auction?
And they took the raping pirate out, and he is now bartending at Johnny's other side.
So, when you are stationed at Pirates of the Caribbean, you go around the... Is it... Because there's the gift shop? Where are you actually working?
I was gift shop.
Okay.
So it's like, because there's a whole, they divide it into you're either attractions or sales. You can't do both. So you're either handling the money or you're handling the safety. So they train you in one or the other.
That's because people are stupid, I bet.
Probably.
So how often does a ride get shut down because some drunk dad,
puts his leg in there?
I
dropped my crock.
Yeah. I'm sure some people freak out from anxiety and then try to get out and walk.
After the initial dip?
Yeah, or something, who knows?
So I don't know how often, but I can tell you that when they would get shut down, it is the craziest thing because people would be furious. Now, I understand people being mad. Maybe you have one day of your life at Magic Kingdom and you wanted to ride Pirates. But people, I was a 19-year-old college kid that looked like I was about 13, standing there with a silk shirt and a plastic sword, and people, grown men, would come up and yell at me and be like, "How dare you? This ride is shut down. I'm gonna," and they would like get and point in my face, and
I like that. I like that they did that too.
But they train you on that. And they're like, you are never allowed to like curse back or talk. You'll get fired immediately. Yeah. So you just have to take it and be like, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I'll get a manager and they'll make it right."
Do they have people like big fat dads yell at you during training? Because I would like that job.
Yeah. EJ, you can get a job, buddy.
But so the other thing that they would yell like crazy when I was doing the glow carts.
Can I get a
If it was daytime instead, and it was like hot, middle of summer, middle of August, I would do the cart and I would sell the squeeze breeze, they called it, which is the water bottle with the rotating fan, and you spray it and it just mists you.
That's trademarked. Right? We might have to pay for you saying that. Squeeze breeze is the deal.
So this was back in 2002. Those things cost $17 each, which is completely insane. A water bottle with a fan.
That's what the retail was.
Yeah, right. They probably cost Disney a penny.
Yeah.
So, as much as I loved working the glow carts at night and seeing the fireworks, I dreaded doing the day because every time what would happen is a dad would come up to me and be like, I need 3 of those for my 3 kids. And I'd be like, okay, that's $51. And they would be like, are you kidding? And just absolutely explode. And what would always end up happening.
I think that's actually
I was trying to hit it. On the
I can't tell you how many times it would happen. They'd yell in your face. They'd storm off. They'd go back to the kids. The kids would cry. They'd walk back over, hand me the cash, and be like, you should be ashamed of yourself. But
you should be ashamed of yourself, pirate. Fake pirate
Disney,
boy.
Would do studies to figure out the exact amount they could charge where that would happen. And they'd still get their money.
Chat room checking in to piggyback what you're saying.
Yeah.
Leo Del Rio says, my dad got an annual pass at Disney. We had to stop taking him. He was verbally abusing all the cast members. He was verbally abusing all the cast members.
Okay, so let's...
Thank you for getting him out of there, Neo. I'm sorry your dad... What was he mad about? Tell me what he was mad about in the chat room.
Help me figure this out.
Okay.
So you're a dad, you're mad at the prices, and you're mad that the Pirates of the Caribbean shut down. So whatever.
Yeah. My dad was kind of this guy.
So you and I know you're mad, right?
Yeah.
But then you see Matt said, the 13-year-old boy in the costume, his first job, whatever.
He's got his white parachute pants on.
Yeah. It's very most Disney cast members. I feel like they're meek. Not so many praying hands tattoos and chin beards.
Right. Oh, you're not even allowed. They won't hire you. You know.
But I'm just saying,
a lot of Bill Gates.
So, and you understand, you have a job, you had to pay to get in this place or whatever. You're an adult. I think you have a basic concept of how business works.
You don't have a temper. And I don't think you understand how good it feels to bully someone that looks weak.
Okay, so...
And yell at them in front of your kids.
So you know that this kid doesn't have any... he's not in charge of setting the prices. Just his job. That yelling at him is not going to change anything.
He showed up for work late.
So you just
didn't even want to be there.
So the reason they do that is just to get some emotional tax out on this poor kid and make this kid's day worse to make you feel better. Horrible person.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think there's ever a play where it's this.
How can...
We talked about
doing anything.
Yeah, we talked about it all the time when we were working there because it would, at least once a week it would happen to somebody. Girls would run in the back crying and just be like, man, why are people like this? And you just think about it from their point of view. At that time, and God only knows what it is now, but at that time, a week-long vacation for a family of 4 staying at a Disney resort, going to all 4 parks, costs $9,000 or something. So,
we could get traction on these. Say how horrible it is. If we use these in our social media videos, all the Disney people come out of the woodwork.
Oh, no way.
This is great.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, you're doing it.
Okay, all right.
No, it's
say how expensive. Oh, it's so expensive. Wow.
Yeah, okay. So, at that time, a lot of families were saving up for years to do this.
Yeah.
And if they don't have the perfect vacation, they lose their minds. So, and especially with kids and everything like that. And so, but that's the thing, and the other thing is if you complain enough, Disney's policy is nobody is allowed to leave unhappy. Give them whatever.
What? That's their policy.
I didn't know this. Write that down. Hold on, I'm writing that down.
They have broken that.
Yeah, I have never
every
known that.
goddamn time. So where's mine?
I'm gonna start going crazy.
Where's my Mister?
The main. No. Listen, and for everybody listening, this is a hack that you can do.
Where's my Mr. Breeze?
The main customer service is at the City Hall on Main Street. Right in the Magic Kingdom. If you go in there and you had a bad time and you complain and you say, this, and this were wrong, I had a terrible experience, make it right. They will give you whatever.
Don't tell people this.
No, I'm writing all this down.
No.
They already know.
Viral video.
And now there's
Melissa, scrape this. We're doing it. Put this out there.
People already know. And you know what? That created a army of complainers. And it's horrible.
And they're disgusting fats.
And then they're like, if I stay at a place and I complain, they'll give me something for free.
Well, not everywhere, but and also
that's parks were moved over to our Airbnb and they like small business.
Yeah.
They're like,
Tom had to deliver coffee to a lady one morning.
Oh my God.
Get the hell out of here. You know what this is the Disney's fault for giving people that complain free stuff because now they go and complain to small businesses and get the hell out of my business.
Well, look, this was also 20 years ago, so the policies may have changed. I don't know.
No. Tracy in our Twitch chat room is saying that her best friend complained because when she got home, her lightsaber was broken and they gave her 4 park hopper passes.
Yeah, so
that's ridiculous.
My sons have anxiety. I want front of the line.
The other,
here you go.
the other funny
don't want
one
any anxiety.
Yeah, I'm telling you this.
was when they did the Pride days, and they used to do. Oh God, this.
Are you
going to
go on an anti-gay rant?
No.
Write this down.
Ready.
Mark the time for Melissa.
That's fine. We'll get more listeners.
Oh my God,
it's a different time.
People seem to be into this now. I don't know why.
They would do the Pride days, and you would like there'd be like. I don't know if like in the gay community, you knew if you wore a red shirt to Disney, that meant like you were supporting Pride or you were gay, and that was the signal. So you would see these like Southern redneck dads in their like bright red Confederate flag shirts, and like gay guys would be high-fiving them, and they would go and complain and be like, "This is outrageous."
I do not like gay high fives.
Hold on, I blame the gay guys because you should have known there's a Confederate flag shirt.
I'm gonna high five.
I know it's red and it's gay,
a high five.
but it's that Confederate flag.
Everybody's getting a high five.
But same thing. So Disney would be like,
free high five.
I'm really sorry. Come into the Main Street store. Pick any outfit you want. We'll give it to you for free. You can change.
I want this gay shirt. All over.
Why not make your gay days rainbow shirts?
Well, I don't think we had that then. No, seriously.
That was pre-rainbow?
I think it might have been.
It was pre. Look, I may be speaking out of turn, but as the oldest man here, I'm just going to say there was a time when I knew that when you would go to Disney parks to support, if you were an ally, you wore red. The rainbow thing is a new thing.
Oh, okay.
It used to be red. Like when gay days, like when I started working at Real Radio and we would do like gay parade or whatever, it was red. Now, I don't know when they said.
When did it get rainbow?
The rainbow does make a little more sense.
It does.
Because red, that red goes all over the place. Atlanta Falcons, Kansas City Chiefs,
Confederate flag,
gay, Japan, China.
You just take the rainbow.
Rainbow's easy.
You got the rainbow. I think they secured the rainbow.
Yeah,
anyway.
And I like it. It looks better, but it used to be red, I believe.
So I heard, and I think you talked about this on Who's the Baddie with Daniel. There was they would have weddings there at the Pirates of the Caribbean, and then you'd have to, or when would you have to put up your fake plastic sword in a military style line?
I do like a plastic sword.
So that's
the highlight. I mean, like that. Who wouldn't like that? Even now, if I could get Andrea somehow, and she loves Disney, if I could get her somehow to like renew our vows and do that, I would do it. That's awesome.
So it was only once, but a big thing. They will bend over backwards, Disney, and do whatever they can to accommodate your request for enough money. So this couple that was obsessed with Disney wanted to get married on the Pirates of the Caribbean. So myself and like 7-ish other employees all had to come in. We had to be there at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, something like that. And they opened the ride early just for this couple. They had a minister. They took the ride.
Had an octopus head.
Yeah.
The minister had a big old squid head.
This is old Pirates, right?
Yeah.
Or, this is pre-Squid Head. Right?
So they did the ride. They
were like, why are you turning into a squid? It doesn't make any sense.
Because the sea. I've become one with the sea. I've become one with the sea. I'm Poseidon's son.
But can't you just get some barnacles?
Yeah, I would have gone barnacle
hair. Why are you turning into an animal?
Nope.
Weird.
I'd be Shrimp Man.
So they do the ride, and they do their I do's on the ride. They go through it. When they step off, all 8 of us were standing like a triangle in a column with our with that music playing, with our pirate swords touching, and they walked underneath the tunnel into the parks to celebrate their honeymoon.
Was there anybody there cheering them on, their family or friends?
No.
It was just by themselves?
Just them, a squid, and Cabin Boy.
So So what's weird about that is that walking through
I can't stop laughing.
walking through a sword tunnel to nobody.
Yeah.
Because usually you walk through the tunnel to a crowd cheering, right?
You bring up an exclamation.
You just walk through.
It's the best day of your life. When I walked out, you remember mine?
There's some cast members like still putting their shirt, like what the hell? And there's like
you remember mine?
janitors cleaning up. There's no cheering, so it's weird.
And by the way, don't forget, it was all a bunch of 19 to 21-year-olds who were there on basically glorified spring break, who were out until 3 in the morning.
Oh,
girls with makeup running down their face. None of us, all of us with bloodshot eyes, just holding the swords.
Did the people getting married look how I imagined they looked?
I know.
And just say yes or no. And that's all we need
Tiny
to say.
car people.
Yeah, I think so.
Tiny car people.
It's hard to remember specifics. It was,
but you weren't
25.
surprised.
I'll tell
You're
you
like,
what.
oh, okay.
Would these people go to Veg Fest? I bet you they would. I bet you they would.
Would I be able to row a boat with one of them in the other side?
Oh my God. Good Lord.
So,
I can't stop laughing.
and did you ever have to emergency get the guests off, and then like the ride just couldn't keep going, and they had to walk through the damn animatronics and stuff?
That's the worst.
I mean, that stuff happens from time to time. It's pretty rare, but yeah, I'm sure.
And do you remember what you got paid back then?
Yeah, it was minimum wage, whatever that was at the time, like $6-ish an hour.
God, $6, and then of course all the taxes or whatever you're white, like $4.80.
Yeah,
you're getting an hour.
Yeah, I remember
which
some
is
of my
insane.
checks were like, some of my checks, I'm just like, this is not a check.
And again, so like you had to stay at the Disney apartment. They would put 5 of you in a 2-bedroom, and they deducted that from your paycheck.
3 in one. Wait, how many rooms in the?
Yeah, 3 in one, 2 in the other, and then
why they do 3 in one, 2 in the other?
I don't know. That's how our situation was, and then they would deduct
4 in one,
every
1
month.
in the other.
I think the whole thing was like $12.50 a month, so everybody got $250 deducted out of their paycheck automatically.
Okay.
So in addition to the taxes and everything else.
Is this experience is what made you like more attracted to Latinos?
He wasn't going to tell you. This is the hard-hitting questions now. This is where Tom goes to flips his paper over and also says horny questions.
Obviously, like your wife's Brazilian.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
First time I met her, I sprayed a beer on her feet. You remember that? First time I met her, I sprayed a Corona on her feet like I was trying to be funny or something. You're like a racist.
And you're a white a sheet of paper, Pittsburgh coal miner. Probably didn't have that much experience.
You're like an Irish coal miner.
Latinas.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I've thought about that before because I'm a very white suburban northern guy now, I guess, but at the time, and I never really even knew too many Latin people before I moved to Florida. So did I always like Latin women and just realize it when I moved down here, or did living down here, it's like the chicken or the egg, did living down here influence my preferences? I have no idea.
Listen, I grew up in Miami. I have no idea why I married a boring white.
You went real white.
Because all ethnicities are way more interesting, and they'll yell at you. They're mean to you. I like that.
They'll spit in your mouth.
Yeah, but they're fiery.
Like
you know what I'm saying? Like instead of boring white.
Sometimes I want my boxers ripped off and punched in the face.
Yeah. You're scared. I like her walking around my house scared.
Yeah, I like eggshell sex.
So let's end with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have to yell about something for a second. I'm tired of all these Pittsburgh fans complaining that they're like, oh, we only make it to the first round of the playoffs every year, and then we're out. And
we're just the most famous football team of all time.
Tomlin can only win enough games to make it so he's never have a losing record. And the rest of the NFL is just looking at you guys. They're like, quit bitching. You make it to the playoffs.
Definitely shut up.
Yeah.
Definitely shut up.
Yeah. Because I ended up betting against you, and then I had to pay off a bunch of bookies the other day.
That bet was brought up every Monday the entire season.
Oh, really?
Anger.
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers chased him all year.
Crystal was bitching at me about, like, what's a about these Cash App payments because I
don't worry about it.
Because I got a couple old school bookies. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. And then they now it's all technology, so you cash out. You don't have to meet them in a gas station anymore. I used to do that.
Do you miss that? Do you miss?
I do miss that.
The door to door, window to window.
Because we never get out. We go window to window at a gas station, and then I pass
the highway patrol.
And it was always in an envelope, and I felt like I was like, oh yeah, this is like the movies.
But by the way, appreciate you always paying your debts. I mean, the day that it was definitive that the Steelers had a better record than Miami this year.
Oh, paid at midnight.
You sent, yes, the money was
fast.
in my account.
Yeah, fast because he's mad sending it. Oh, I can feel it.
Yeah.
So mad.
So mad.
Yeah. As I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, dude,
I could be anywhere. I could be anywhere. And I know I'm not part of his family. I could be anywhere, though, and I'd be like, what is that? I feel Tom paying a bet, an anger bet. I can feel him paying it.
Then these bookies, when they message me, you're like, all right, end of the season, we're settling up our bets. Sorry, but I'm getting a lot of pressure on me. They always tell me that. I'm like, I understand. And then he's like, don't mention anything about gambling in the notes. And then I'm like, why would you think I'm an idiot? Why would I put like gambling?
And so he writes, not gambling.
And then he's like, if you want to use an emoji, that's fine. I'm like, why would I use? What am I going to use? A money emoji?
I'll use
or just pay you.
Money emoji, skull, cop, eggplant.
And then I want
surfboard.
I want to imagine they're like a Italian guy, but they're probably just a nerd.
A nerd or a Latin guy with a Bluetooth in his ear.
But it's more exciting when you actually have to Cash App a bookie rather than now it's all through Hard Rock.
Didn't you have a bookie come by here one time? And not impressive. Just look like a nerd.
Yeah. When you see them, you're like, oh, you're not going to burn my feet.
They look like poker nerds. They all look like poker nerds.
Yeah. So back to the Steelers.
Yeah.
And then I hear people are like, oh, we need to we have a losing season, so we draft a new a new rookie QB. And then I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But that doesn't guarantee nothing.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely
doesn't. You're making this, like whatever Tomlin's doing, you're making the damn playoffs every year.
What says you, Steelers fan?
I was telling Tom I before the show, this is kind of a bummer thing to admit, but I've found the last couple of years I've kind of lost some of my passion for like my own teams.
I like that.
I don't know.
I'm listening.
I know. Yeah, no.
I like that.
You're such a twisted person.
I don't know if it's because I'm in my 40s now, or if it's because like I've got a family and it's just not the biggest focus of my life. But for so many years, I lived and died by what happened to like the Steelers or to Penn State on the weekends, and now it's just kind of like, that's a bummer. All right, let's get on.
So you think maybe the baby?
I don't know, or maybe I've been away from Pittsburgh and from college for 20 years now. Maybe it's like the distance. I don't know what it is, but I don't get as worked up. I don't follow it as closely, and that sucks actually because that is like something that has made me so happy for so long.
You didn't even get that excited. We watched the game, the opening game, and you were pretty low-key dude.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've been trying to figure that out. Go.
It's because of the money. And NIL.
Follow the money? Is this... you think the game has changed?
Well, no, not even the game. It's just we all look now, and we're like, wait a minute. NIL, no one's getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. They're just paying them to play. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing anything. So now it's just, okay, you're going to go to the college, you'll get paid the most, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, it's so transparent. We grew up in the 90s where there was only like ESPN, and there were still like, you're like, oh, Mark Duper really cares. You know what I'm saying? We thought that the players are like, oh, he, orange and teal, he bleeds orange and teal. Yeah. And then now we just realize through social media, like, oh, they just care about the money, and they don't give a damn. Some of these players don't even know all the teams in the NFL. It doesn't matter to them. They just go where they get paid the most.
You know, the other thing too, like when COVID happened, I don't know, do you guys consume like a lot of talking head, like sports media? No, not really.
I watch a lot of sports.
I do.
You do. I just watch the game. I watch a ton of sports, but that's it.
Yeah, I used to. And then when there were no sports for like whatever it was, 4-6 months, something like that, I'm trying to listen to these shows and I'm just like, God, this is stupid. why do I spend so much time caring
now
what,
you've done it.
So-and-so
This
thinks
is Tom's
about?
favorite. Now you've done it. This is Tom's favorite stuff in the world.
We're about to hit year 20 of our fantasy football league, and I haven't won it in 20 years. Susie has won it 8 times or whatever. Daniel's won it. Everybody's won it. Matt's won it.
I goofed into a win one year.
It was just me and Kevin. Never won. And you understand? And my brain, I'm like, the more I grind, I could win it. I'll run it out. If I consume this content and know everything about the NFL and every strategy there is, I will win. I have to. Like, this is not just like luck. This is skill and luck. Like poker.
He does put a lot of time into it.
And then every year I put I listen while I run. I live hundreds of hours.
You're reading. You compare, contrast, compare. He's printing out worksheets. He's doing mock drafts.
Yeah. All for nothing. And every year I lose. And so, but I can't accept that it's just luck.
Well, it's not just luck. That's what keeps you on the hook.
Well, then if it's skill,
if it were just luck, you could detach yourself. But there is skill involved.
Is everybody out grinding me? Is Susie studying right now? I'll quit the show. I have to win.
No, in fact, last
year 20.
I believe last year Susie said I haven't had the time to research this the way I wanted to.
No, she's getting in your head.
No, she did that before she even won.
She says that.
She did that before she won.
No, she's pretty coy though. I don't know what to believe with her.
No one can win that much. I put out a text to everybody in the group. I said, listen, you guys don't understand. No one could win this much without her knowing more than us. We have to see what she's doing. You understand?
She killed it.
She's doing something that we don't understand yet. And that has to be. She's won so many times.
They're actually thinking about renaming the Roy Helu Trophy to the Susie Trophy.
What podcast is she listening to?
Crazy.
And then her and her husband were in the championship game this year. What a downer that was.
But at least I didn't have to watch it. You know what I mean? Like it's like the Super Bowl boring.
What content are they consuming? I pay for stuff. Every year
tell people. Don't
I
say
pay
that.
like $80 for this package.
$80.
Whatever the hell. Like they give me all the latest insights.
I have a RotoWire account I can't turn off. I have one. It's like $4. I can't turn it off.
Anyway. All right, Matt. Let's plug your business you're in now.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm doing this new podcast, guys. And if any of your listeners want to check it out, the premise of it is it's called Who's the Baddie. So if you go on Apple or Spotify and search Who's the Baddie, you can find it. It's a movie podcast. And we look at movies from a different point of view, right? So like Tom, yours is out today. And we talked to you about Shawshank Redemption. And Daniel, you came on, we talked about Coco.
Yep.
So with Shawshank,
those movies really do sum up you and I believe. Right? Like, think about that.
Shawshank and Coco.
I'm Coco, baby.
We try to figure out if the actual bad guy, the titular bad guy, if you will, is the actual bad guy in the movie. So you surmise, Tom, that Andy Dufresne is actually the worst person in Shawshank Redemption because you don't believe his story and you think he's really a murderer. And we spent some time talking about that.
He killed his wife. She was banging.
Cold-blooded.
I mean, innocent man.
Oh, the chat room's now kicking it around. Yeah, that's why you got to listen to the show, guys. It's fun to kick these things around.
I hope you guys do. We really have a lot of fun doing it. It's new, but we've got about 15 or 20 movies. See if there's a movie on there you love. Download it. See what you think. We already talked about coming back with you guys. Dan, we have a really fun idea in May that we will hopefully do. Tom, you really want to do Demolition Man.
Oh, good choice, man. Very good. Very good. Yeah, the one that we kind of kicked around. Yep. Okay, good. I won't say anything about it then. Yeah.
We've got a couple other Real Radio friends, like C-Lane is doing Con Air with us in another week.
I think Demolition Man was actually set in the year of last year. It was like 2024.
I think you're right.
Or something like that.
Anyway. We may have passed it. Still no shells.
Jack Bradshaw's coming in a couple of weeks. He's going to come and do one with us. So it's very Real Radio friendly. Who's the Baddie if you search for it? Thanks for letting me talk about it, guys.
There you go. Man, our pleasure. It's good to have you in here.
Yeah, and we will see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's not waste any time. We have a very, very special guest on the line. And let me give you the full rundown because he's hitting Florida and he's hitting Florida hard.
Yep.
Friday, March 7th at Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater. You may see this guest. Sunday, March 9th at Hard Rock Live in Orlando. Beautiful venue right here in the heart of Orlando. Monday, March 10th at Wells Hall at the Parker at Fort Lauderdale. Tuesday, March 11th at the King Center in Melbourne. March 12th, that's a Wednesday, the Tracy Performing Arts Center in Somerville, Florida. And again, Thursday, March 13th at Thrasher Horn Center in Orange Park, Florida.
And you can get all tickets at HowieMandel.com.
Scoop them up.
On the line with us is Howie Mandel. How you doing, Howie?
What a coincidence. I will say that the first day I have to postpone, the Clearwater date, I'm going to postpone and probably do in May.
Okay.
Just because we are starting the 20th season of AGT, and I have to tape that day, and they just changed the schedule, and so I got to postpone that. But all the rest of the Florida dates are still in line with everything that you just said, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be in the state and also doing stand-up comedy, which is my favorite thing in the world to do, and that's what got me all the other stuff that I have done.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the busiest person I think we've talked to in a very long time.
Yeah, and since you brought it up, Howie, AGT, I've thought about this because of AGT and Deal or No Deal. Are you numb to being a part of the most important moment in normal people's lives?
No, that's what I loved about it. You know, that in these moments on AGT and when somebody does well on Deal or No Deal, I'm in the room and standing feet from somebody whose life changes forever. So, no, I never get numb to that, and that's why I love doing it. That being said, I also love, I feel like I'm a witness to that and really not part of it and just lucky to be there and on and spewing whatever it is that I spew. But stand-up comedy, I get to be myself in the real and get an immediate reaction. But I also should point out that because people know me from AGT and Deal or No Deal, which are traditionally great family shows, don't bring the kids to my live shows because I don't really edit myself. And I'm also, and I've been telling this to people, I'm also much better looking in person, and it scares people. So don't bring the children.
Yeah, I mean, you've been covering some spicy stuff on your podcast, and so, I mean, you've never been known as, you can work fully clean. I mean, you've always kind of just gone wherever you wanted to go, correct?
I think I'm a responsible broadcaster. So I know where I am, and I know who that audience is. So, I will, kind of edit myself. But traditionally, the true raw me has no edit. I mean, I do have been diagnosed with not only OCD but ADHD. So I am very in the moment. Sometimes to my own, I was asked to leave school. I don't have a GED. Everything I've ever been punished for, expelled for, gotten in trouble for is what I seem to get paid for. It works for comedy.
Gotcha.
Better than it works in broadcast television. And I get to, as you just said, on my podcast that I do with my daughter, Howie Mandel Does Stuff, and also the one I do with Harland Williams, who also lives in Florida part-time, called When a Stranger Calls. We get to just unedited, unabashed, kind of just react to whatever is in front of us.
Harlan's been in here a couple of times. He's the nicest man. He gave our kids his children's book. He's just such a good dude. And then when his cartoon came out with
Puppy Dog
Pals, he sent us some signed copies. I still have mine. It's cool that you get to work with these type of people and then dip your toe into something, like I said, spicier, but then also roll it back and do the regular America's Got Talent, family friendly stuff.
Right. I like that I get to do, and it keeps each of the things that I do fresh and new to me. You know what I mean? If you have to go to the same place and do the same thing all the time, listen, whatever I do is not boring, but it's even more exciting because I get to leave it and come back to it. But there is nothing more exciting for me than stand-up comedy. It really is in the moment. It's terrifying, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's fun, it's an escape. And that's what the people should show up for, just to escape, life for a while and laugh. I look at it like a giant party, and I'm just trying to be the center of attention.
Well, Howie, let's talk about OCD for a second, because you are one of the first people in my memory that started, especially celebrities, that started talking openly about this. And I feel like
I have a variation of it. We talk about it on our show. And
anxiety.
it's in my medical chart too. So,
and you were talking about it before anybody seemed to be talking about it. And I wonder how.
Well, that was really hard. That was an accident. I didn't intend on it. I wrote a book a few years ago, my autobiography, and I talked about how that happened. I was on a radio show, not unlike this. I was on the Howard Stern show, and they were playing a joke on me because they knew I wouldn't touch the door handle. And I thought we were in a commercial, and I said, hey, I've been diagnosed, and I'm about to pass out, and I have something called OCD. When I realized that we weren't in a commercial and it was actually broadcast, I was devastated, but later learned that the fact that I, unsealed this secret that I was carrying, this burden, I felt more comfort in knowing that other people also suffer from it. And they came up to me and said, I too, that was great that you talked about it. So I've learned since that and made it a mission to try to help remove the stigma by being open about it and talking about it and telling people, if you even have an inkling that you have this issue, you should talk about it to loved ones, to caregivers. And I partnered with a company. This is not a commercial for them, but No CD. No CD is an app now. So if you think that you have it or somebody you know has had it, you can download this app, which is covered by all the insurance companies, and arrange for an expert in OCD to maybe get a diagnosis. And if you do have it, you can also arrange for people to come and whatever you need.
Sure,
if you need to talk to an expert, a therapist, they can arrange it. And now everybody has access to it because it's on an app, whereas you don't have to live in New York or L.A. or Miami or Orlando you could be out in the outskirts. It's a huge problem, mental health, and I believe we need to take care of our mental health the way we take care of our dental health.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt. Again, Howie Mandel's on the line with us. HowieMandel.com. Get your tickets. He's going to be,
a bunch of places in Florida. If you live in Florida.
6 Florida dates for you.
Howie, has it helped you yourself deal with it by talking about it? Because I know we talk about it on the show, and it helped Daniel deal with his anxiety, and it actually makes him feel better talking about it.
Yeah, you think by shutting up and trying to push it down you're going to feel better. You don't. And you can even make yourself physically sick by holding that anxiety and everything in. So, yes, talking about it is the first step. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not giving you a remedy. But I will tell you, as a patient, talking about it, and everybody else I've talked to that has talked about it says they feel better talking about it. And that's how you source and kind of communicate that maybe you need help.
Yeah, you've done so many firsts. Another first he did was I remember you being the first celebrity that I knew of, or at least stand-up comedian, who had his own cartoon show. Like when you had Bobby's World, I mean, that was such a big show, big instrumental part of my life. The chat room's going crazy talking about it, all the different voices, Muppet Babies and all that kind of stuff.
That's our demographic.
Yeah, do you realize when you're doing that stuff and in the moment how big and how successful and how nostalgia just rich that type of stuff is when you're in the moment doing it?
Well, you don't know nostalgia when you're in the moment. Nostalgia is something you remember. So,
right, of course, but I mean,
nobody is more surprised. Yeah, but any success that I have now, nobody is more surprised, excited, and thrilled to be part of it than me. In the moment, even my career as a stand-up, it was a dare to get up on stage. It wasn't something I was aspiring to be. When I got asked to do a Saturday morning cartoon, I didn't know anything about Saturday morning. That voice and Bobby was a character that I did in my stand-up act, and it wasn't family friendly. So yeah, it's amazing, and I look back each and every day at anything that I've done or that I'm doing. Like even now on AGT, we're going into our 20th season. I've been on the show for 15 years. Yeah. It's crazy to think that these things and are not only remembered, not only going on, but are a part of people's lives. So yes is the answer.
Well, Howie, let's talk about your podcast for a second. Howie Mandel Does Stuff. You host it with your daughter Jacqueline. Your son actually works behind the scenes as well, which it's an amazing thing because this is my dream to someday work with my sons in some sort of capacity. Yeah. Like it's amazing to me, and I really enjoy that you do this. But I have to ask you about the Bill Burr episode because it made internet rounds. The social media went crazy.
People are still discussing it on Reddit right now.
And obviously, I'm not going to insult.
They are.
Yeah, I'm not going to insult.
I mean, and here's the thing. You know, I feel bad. I've apologized. I thought I was doing something funny and good. He got mad at me. But, you know, that happens. Dana White walked off my show, you know, and I still don't understand why. There's always somebody when you reach an audience that is going to get angry. You know, last week I had Adam Ray's Dr. Phil on talking to the girl that slept with 1,057 men in 12
Yeah, Bonnie
hours.
Blue. Yeah, we're familiar.
And that's a show I did with Bonnie Blue, yes. Yeah. Bonnie Blue and my daughter and I talked to Bonnie Blue.
That's insane.
You know, when do you get a chance to do that?
Yeah,
it's insane. But I love, you know, it's fun. It's sometimes cringy. It's sometimes exciting. But it's always exciting, and I get to have my family around, and I get to, you know, do what other people only dream of doing, and that's what's exciting for me.
Well, Howie, I'm so impressed because you talk about, like, sometimes it's uncomfortable, and, like, you watch that episode, and it makes me want to hide under my desk at a certain point when Bill Burr and Billy Corgan are talking to each other.
The
I'm
body
like,
language is on.
So
I left. I walked out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
I didn't know that.
You saw the episode. I left for about 15 minutes. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. I just got up and left. But it's what happens. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, next week we have some amazing guests coming on. All my podcasts. You know, I do a podcast now with Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
Called When a Stranger Calls. And we don't know what people are going to do. Some of it is incredibly uncomfortable. Some of it is incredibly funny. Some of it is, you know, I just like. Here's what I like, and it's really apparent in my stand-up. I like to not know. I like to not know what's going to happen and not be. I like discomfort. I love roller coasters. I love thrill rides. And when whatever I'm doing on stage or on a show or on a podcast feels like a thrill ride, that's kind of fun for me.
I like that too. Oh my God, I like that.
You are a born host, obviously for lots of reasons because you're insanely good at it. But I think that's another reason because it's funny, Howie. Because as a person that doesn't like uncomfortability, I watch your episode and I think to myself, "Oh, Howie planned this. This is all Bill Burr's in on it."
Oh, everybody's saying that. Yeah. For all of them, he planned all of them.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is all behind the scenes plan. There's no way he did this for real because I'm thinking like how could he stand the uncomfortability, but you're saying that you're fine with it.
Yeah, in fact, this week's episode right now, I mean, and I'm getting some blowback because of it, no pun intended, but we put Bonnie Blue back on because she said she would come on.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is I have this friend Lou. And Lou is very conservative, and he's on my show, sometimes co-hosting, but not a lot, but he's there.
Yeah.
We didn't tell, the whole thing is, never told him, he doesn't know who Bonnie Blue is. He's not really on social media. He doesn't know what she's famous for. And it's just fun to sit there, and I say that at the beginning of the podcast, me and my daughter are going to continue to interview Bonnie Blue, and just watch Lou deal with the fact of he doesn't know who she is, he doesn't understand that she's a celebrity, and come to the realization of what she does, and then once she does what she does, watch how uncomfortable this guy is. And for me, that's like, if anybody's the most entertained person, and I would imagine it's probably terrible to say that because the listeners and the watchers, I want you to be entertained. Nobody's more entertained than me, just watching him squirm and be so uncomfortable. Even after the the episode, he came up to me and goes, "Why would you do that? Why would you not?" He's so angry with Lou. It's hysterical. It's hysterical just watching you sit beside somebody and not know who they are and then realize who they are and just be so uncomfortable. Discomfort is what I'm most comfortable with. I grew up watching Candid Camera and Alan Funt, and I just love when, even for myself, when I'm in a situation that I have no idea what's going to happen. And that's what I try to create even when I come and do stand-up. When I come and do stand-up, obviously I have 40 or 50 years of material that I can pull on. I love when I'm pulled off of that. I don't mind a technical glitch. I don't mind when people are doing something unexpected in the audience. Gotcha. I don't mind when people yell out. I don't mind. I like that. I like when people come up to me after 5 years and go, "I was there the night where the lady with the red hat released the bird into the theater." Yeah. You know, I like that.
So it seems, Howie, that you, like, just from watching you for so many years and seeing and watching your interviews and watching your podcasts, it seems like your brain constantly just tries to find what's funny about things. And I feel like that's, not all comedians have that. We've interviewed a lot of comedians before, and I see the ones that our brains are just perfectly suited for comedy. Sure. And I feel like your brain is that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, but it's more about, it goes back to my mental health. I love distraction, and if I had to recite or there was something planned and I learned it, and when you do something by rote, when you do something that's planned, then your mind can go other places. The fact that I'm always distracted and you can, away from thinking and getting deep into the dark annals of my mind, it's just not, that's what I do. So this is my form of survival, and I love it, and I'm lucky that it pays the rent, and I'm lucky that my family wants to be around me while I pay the rent. And we all want to contribute together. So I feel like a lucky guy, and I feel like I'm really lucky that I get to come to Florida. I love my time in Florida. It was the only place. I'm from Toronto, Canada. That was my one vacation place. My family used to drive down there every year, and I thought that one day I would live there. I didn't know that I was going to be in show business and I would end up in California. But I love Florida. I love the people of Florida, and the fact that I get to go there and do the thing that I love most is something that I look forward to. I hope they enjoy it as much as I do.
Oh, I know they will, man. And you're doing a lot of dates. I mean, you're not slowing down at all, right? I mean,
No, I don't slow. I can't slow down. If I slow down, I'm never going to slow down. I will be forced to slow down. So people won't invite me. People won't buy tickets. People won't hire me. That's how I'll slow down. I will never make the effort to not show up.
I love that.
So, and speaking of that, because we all do the math, Howie. You've had a insanely successful career. You've been working in entertainment for over 40 years. Gigantic shows. We all have the internet. We could see Celebrity Net Worth, and then you see you're still traveling doing stand up, and it made me think. I was like, Howie's love for stand up and love for this art is
humans
is greater than, because think of it, you are a doctor.
Well, I don't do anything for money. I don't do anything for, I do it because I love it and because I can do it. And because people are inviting me to do it and people are enjoying it. And what a treat, and I'm a lucky guy. And if you had told me to bet on the fact that first day, April 19th, 1977, when I got dared, I went to a comedy club as an audience member, and they dared me to get up on stage, the people at my table, because they were doing amateurs at midnight. If you would tell me that this many years later, almost 50 years later, that I'd still be talking to a radio station about my dates and coming there, I would have bet against it. Nobody's more surprised than me, and I love it, and I'll do it as long as I get invited. And I haven't always been successful. Right before Deal or No Deal in 2005, I was ready to quit. I was going to quit it. I wasn't selling tickets. Nobody was inviting me. I couldn't get parts. I had just been turned down for a pilot. I have other businesses that I do. I'm in production and on other people's stuff, and I dabble in real estate and other things. So I said, well, I'm just not going to. People aren't interested in seeing me anymore. People aren't interested in hiring me anymore. I'm just going to quit. And then I got the offer for Deal or No Deal, which is probably one of the biggest single successes in my career.
Yeah. And is it true that
there's ups and downs all the time.
Is it true that you almost turned down that Deal or No Deal deal?
Yeah, it's the only thing. I always say yes to everything, but that was the one thing I didn't get it. An hour. First of all, in 2005, comedians weren't game show hosts, and it was the lowest rung on the. That's you'd make fun of a game show host rather than. And then the game that was offered to me, I didn't understand it. I didn't read. There was no trivia. There was no skill. How am I going to stand there and for an hour and just say, open the case, pick a case, open the case, pick a case, open the case? I didn't even see the game of it. But my wife did. My wife's a lot smarter than me. And she said, just take the deal. And I was kind of depressed. I was in a really low spot in my career and in my life. And she said, you just need to get out and be busy, and it'll be, if nothing else, we'll get a distraction. Somebody's calling you, somebody wants you to work, and she made me do it. And I was so embarrassed. Even after I did it, I didn't even see it from the inside. When I knew it was going to air, I flew out of the country to a place with no TV and no nothing. I was off on an island in the Caribbean because I was embarrassed. Had no idea that people would even like it. It was the first time I was on television not being a comedian, not being an actor, not being a character, just being me. And I thought, it's just nothing, and I'm going to be embarrassed, and it's going to be the nail in the coffin of my career. And when I landed back in Miami, was the first place after Deal or No Deal. I was in the Caribbean. I got off the plane in Miami, and within 30 seconds, somebody looked at me and went, Deal or No Deal? And all of a sudden, I had a catchphrase. And it was every third person. I went, what the hell is this? What is this? And
also, the irony,
back up again.
The irony of your wife telling you to take the deal is insane to me. You said that, and you blew my mind.
Yes.
You literally blew my mind, and then I'm like, oh my God. And then the fact that because it does, look, I have OCD too, and when you said I flew out of the country to a place with no TV so I didn't have to deal with it, I did feel the relief in you saying that. I just want to let you know. When you said that, I was like, fly away, don't watch it. But man, what a great story.
And then Howie, I heard you in an interview about Deal or No Deal where at the beginning you were really careful, but you realize the power of the host of that show in phrasing whether they wanted to take the deal or no deal because you didn't want to skew or have them lean one way or the other.
Well, that was the whole thing. That's why I was embarrassed, because when I finally said, yes, I'll take the deal, I prepared myself to be really funny and silly and be a game show host like you never saw before. And then when I was standing within 2 feet of a person whose life would be drastically changed with just even and I'm using the word loosely, even $20,000. $20,000 is a lot of money. I've worked all my life. I started with paper routes. My minimum wage was $1.35 when I started working. I understand what a dollar is, and when I'll still remember I did 500 episodes. The first contestant is a woman by the name of Karen Van, who had 3 children, had never owned a home, didn't have health insurance, and the first offer was something like $15,000 to $20,000, and just she looked so distracted just by being on a game show, all the cameras, all the noise I was making, and just without any thought went, no deal. And I kept thinking, I understand money. $15,000, you can insure your family. $15,000, she didn't live in L.A. or New York. You could probably put a down payment and own a house for the first time. Yeah. So then I started I didn't want to be responsible for somebody making a bad decision. I didn't want to be a distraction. So I started talking to people. I threw everything by the wayside and just looked at them in their eyes. And I would go, Karen Van, the offer is $15,000. Like I would talk to my 5-year-old. $15,000 is probably $15,000 more than you have in the bank. It's $15,000 more than you made this year. If you say no deal, you have to open up another 5 cases for a chance at $1 million, as opposed to a guarantee of $15,000, and they used to flash Howie stop because they thought I was trying to persuade somebody.
Yeah.
I just wanted somebody to leave in a better position than they came, and I didn't want to be responsible for them to leave in a bad position because I was so entertaining.
Which also endeared you more to people. Like,
yes.
Like we noticed, now that you're explaining this, my dad and I love this show, and we loved you on it, and when we watched it, like I would think to myself, oh, he's doing something. Look at him. Look what he's doing here. He's helping this.
It's real.
We knew what you were doing, and you're a good person for doing it.
Right. Like, I'd go, what's the strategy? Like, they'd go, my mother's birthday is on the 7th. I'm just going to open the odd numbers. Like, you have this, nobody knows what's in the case. It's random. It's just luck. And it's really hard for me. Listen, I play Vegas all the time and all these casinos. I don't even play blackjack. I can't gamble. I can't give away, and I do well. But it bothers me if I lost $100 and I got nothing for it. I'd rather buy a little ball of lint for $100. At least I got something.
Right.
So, these people would play, and then they'd think they were, they'd be offered $50,000, and they go, listen, I didn't have the chance. I'm going to throw away this chance at $50,000. It killed me. The skill as the host of Deal or No Deal was just not to throttle somebody, to say, take the deal, you dummy.
Yeah.
You need this.
And last question, Howie. How does it feel co-hosting a podcast with your daughter? Is it
the best?
Is there any negative things that came about that you didn't foresee happening?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero. She might tell you different. I embarrass her, and it is cringeworthy at times. And but the thing I love most and I'm most proud of all these things are my kids and my grandkids. And the fact that I'm sitting here in a building and that my son basically built. He's technically versed and is a broadcaster and has his own YouTube channels and is responsible for a lot of the things that you see on YouTube and produces a bunch of other podcasts for people that aren't me. He's worked with Logan and Jake Paul, and he works with Jason Alexander, and he produces Billy Bush's new show, and he produces a whole bunch of more than I could even mention here. The Girls Next Door with Playboy, and he turns on the lights. He turns on the lights for me, and runs my show and produces it. So and then I get to sit with one of my daughters, and do that. I have another daughter that has no desire to be on camera. She's not even in her own wedding album.
Some
people are like that, and that's okay. Like not everybody wants to be out there. Some people want to be behind the scenes, and that's fine.
Yeah, but you're an inspiration to a lot of dads out there like us. The fact that now, as you have adult children that you still work with, you hang out with, you have a great relationship with. You've been an entertainer for 40 years. You managed to raise great people,
and you're still doing it at a very, very high level.
It's impressive.
We look forward to you coming to Florida.
All right. Well, I hope to see you all there.
Yeah, man. And
thank you so much for your time.
You got it, Howie. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate the time.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Okay. We did not stick the landing. We never stick the landing.
We drawled it on too long.
I think we went on too long. He's like, well, I gotta get the hell out of here.
It was too famous for we almost got 30.
HowieMandel.com. HowieMandel.com for all of. He's got 5 dates. He's got Clearwater, Orlando. The Clearwater will be updated until May. You got Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Melbourne, Sumterville, and Orange Park.
But me and Daniel were talking about it. It's impressive. But also, think about it. He's not. He's pushing past the uncomfortability.
He's 70 years old. Is the first thing I want to say. You don't say that when the person's on the line.
But he's pushing past the uncomfortability he obviously has with germs and OCD, and he travels. He gets on an airplane, travels through airports,
first class. You think?
Does live shows with tons of people who know. Yeah. He's so recognizable that he can't go anywhere without people at least. Everybody goes for the handshake. I've met Howie. He's come to the radio station. We both have.
Yeah, we've met him
back in the day, and it's he doesn't like to shake hands, fist bump.
What he normally does is he make you grab his zipper and just go up and down with it really fast till it makes a noise like zicky 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 zicky.
What's funny is back pre social media and stuff. This is when I met. I met Howie probably in 2005 or 6 or something. Yeah. It's funny because the legend is Howie Mandel. He's crazy. He's OCD. a germaphobe.
He can't even breathe the air.
And then if you look at his life and career, he's the most well-rounded family man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
didn't talk about it. He's been married
and hardworking man.
How many years did you say?
Oh, I think he married his
40?
wife in 1980 or something. You know, so it's he's been married like almost 45 years. Or 45 years.
And he addressed some stuff that he gets some flack for, like cringeworthy stuff and this that. Like if you're okay with it, like he.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah,
because he's off the line. He'll never listen.
No.
So the Dana White thing,
I was ready to pull the trigger on that. You saw that.
I didn't want to make it uncomfortable, but
I wanted to get 30 minutes out of him, and we did.
And Dana White said that it was fake.
Yes.
So that lead...
You lied to us. Howie, you think...
No, he's an entertainer.
You think we're a couple of goddamn idiots, Howie? Hold on a second.
No.
You think we're some country Florida bumpkins? Hold on a second. You got another thing coming, Jack.
And so that is what makes me lean towards the Bill Burr thing was all planned.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you watch it, it looks real.
Once he lied to me and said, like, hey, Dana White stormed off. But he said Dana White stormed off. He didn't say it was real.
Yeah, you're right. But he alluded to it as real. But then if you... Oh,
man. But I did want to pull the trigger. In one of us, we were thinking of a way to do it. I don't want you guys to think that we didn't want to ask him that.
Well, he's not...
But our goal is to get as much Howie time for you guys as humanly possible. We didn't even know we were going to have him until yesterday afternoon. Thank you, Bill, for setting that up.
It's not... I'm not like asking a wrestler if it's real or not. Like I refrain from asking hosts, especially like podcast or radio hosts, whether bits are real because I know the deal. Like stuff like so.
Except those podcasters we had on that pretend like they're stealing your podcast. you didn't play along with those guys.
Well, only famous people.
You know those guys are idiots.
So that Dana White thing that we still Daniel plays the audio.
No, I pulled it. Now I play the legal lady.
No, okay.
Like but I used to play at the end of our shows.
But so then when we found Dana White said in another show that was like fake, and Howie's like, hey, do you want to come and storm off my so Dana White's like basically admitted that it was fake.
Dana White's down for whatever. Also part of our government's cabinet.
So then I look at Bill Burr's like the whole thing where he brings in Billy Corgan, and Bill Burr seems to legitimately get upset, right? And it's awkward.
Yeah, it is awkward.
Now Bill Burr's a really good actor. So when I look at him, I'm like, this is real. But then I'm like, I got to remind myself, Bill Burr is a great actor. And then Billy Corgan, I look at his face, and I'm like, oh, Billy Corgan's really uncomfortable here.
Isn't Bill Burr going to be Glenn Ross on Broadway? He's going to be playing Ed Asner's character on Broadway.
So if you look at it on YouTube, you're like, God, it damn sure seems real, and the uncomfortability seems real. Then Howie makes a joke, which brings me back to it being
think
fake.
About that. You pointed that out to me.
So at one point, Bill Burr says to Billy Corgan, like, I like your music though, because he's kind of saying like, why did you do this? Why did you talk about this? Realize how many questions this already, like, didn't you realize? Because Billy Corgan brought up the legend that they may be brothers on Howie Mandel's show.
But I don't even think that's real. The legend part?
Yeah, that
let
could
me give
be
you
fake,
a little more. Let me give you a little more fuel for your fire from our good friend Ghost of Manu Bull. He says Billy Corgan owns, and I knew this, but Billy Corgan, the guitar player, lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins, owns NWA Wrestling, so he's down for a good, quote, work as well. I bet it's fake. Yeah, Billy Corgan has been like a wrestling manager for wrestling. He's down for what? He was at Mike Busey's house 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Let me not remind. Yeah, remember that?
Why was it? We never asked Busey what he was doing there.
Well, because I was so afraid he was going to say that it was like Dana White. It was fake.
I don't know. I don't know. Filming something. I don't know. I was like, what the hell is he filming?
I have no idea why we didn't ask him that.
So there's a point where Bill Burr says to Billy Corgan, like, I do like your music though, and Billy Corgan's like, thanks. And then there's just a funny joke, by the way. Yeah, Howie says like, oh, well, Bill, maybe you could play drums with Billy one day, or with he said maybe you could play drums with your brother one day. And then, but it was just right after an uncomfortable moment. So then I was like, oh, it's fake. Like all this, they all knew what was going to happen. And then Bill Burr's smart enough to realize, like, by continuing the ruse and
he went on other people's shows
and saying how he hates Howie for doing that, that will give Howie, that's a present to Howie.
It made the front page of the New York Post.
Yeah, he knows just by saying some words that he can help Howie Mandel out with giving publicity to his podcast by a lot. But then again, there's a chance that it's fake or a chance that it is real, and that Howie Mandel didn't tell him, and he really did get mad.
I think they're all fake. I think Howie is I think he's a grade A. What he's got in him that we don't really have much anymore, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit. You kind of mentioned it to him. Because it takes a lot, really, for you to tell somebody, a guest that we have on our air, that, hey, you're an inspiration, or I like what you're doing, like a lot, you're hard to move the needle for. And that guy has got that old school entertainment, Hollywood, workaholic vibe. And that's gone. There's not, Mr. Beast has it. He's just in the new media. But that, like, addicted to doing it.
The drive. Yeah. He's addicted to the art of stand-up, obviously. Because, again, he does really not like germs. And he's flying to Florida, which is not the most don't like germs friendly place.
No, we're pretty German. I think we're pretty German.
We're German. Look what we did. Like, we barely got us to wear a mask and to Publix. Other than that, we were like, no deal.
And
nothing.
Even that, we did it for like a week.
And then outside of the metropolitan areas, they did nothing. I saw it during mid-COVID. I went to down Minnesota Key and went to a breakfast diner, and it was no one's mask.
God, it's like stepping back in 1951.
Well, no, I was like, this is like 2019. But so he's flying to Florida doing shows and in airports or whatever, and he doesn't need the money. He's doing it for the love of stand-up. But he also could do stand-up at his own where he lives. You know what I'm saying? If he just wanted to just do stand-up, think about what...
he's a Las Vegas guy?
I don't know where he lives.
I think he's a Vegas guy.
But wherever he lives, he could sell out any theater he wants in his hometown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He could probably have a residency if he wanted it.
Right? Oh, yeah, over and over.
I was trying to remember. Was Howie Mandel the one that put the condom on his head and blew it up? Or the rubber glove on his head?
Yeah, rubber glove. Yeah.
Okay, my dad thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was peak comedy for my dad. Blowing the rubber glove up on his head.
He's also really good at social media, which tells me like he likes entertaining.
Yeah.
And like
that's old school, man.
And it's not like I think some of the old school entertainers were like that. Or he's just addicted to entertaining.
What I'm talking about are like Fred Astaire, was a dancer, right? And he would dance. There's nothing he was going to do other than that. He's an entertainer, right? Like Howie is a pure entertainer.
You know, the personality kind of reminds me of Jeff Howe, in the fact that Jeff Howe will, in a normal conversation, he will try his hardest to make a joke out of everything. And
I love it.
And I don't know.
It can be annoying to other people.
Yeah. But
I love it.
I think that's like Howie when I was talking to his brain. Like he tries to.
Do I have a little bit of that with my chirping?
Yeah,
and constantly doing little jokes and little things here and there and the other.
But yours is more annoying for some reason.
Not as funny. Not as funny.
But Howie does it.
But the way Howie does it great.
No.
I noticed that.
Listen, if I was around Howie Mandel or Jeff Howe for that long, I'd be like, oh my God, just take something seriously. Just put your head down and just write some numbers.
It's so hard for me to take things seriously.
Yeah. No, but I don't think your brain's not wired that way. So, and I don't think Howie's brain's wired that way or Jeff Howe. It's like, and those are fascinating entertainers to me because, again, this guy could easily never be around another germ ever. And in his life, you know what I'm saying? And he chooses the entertainment route, which has got to be uncomfortable.
He also he's doing something right now that a lot of old men, especially when they go bald and have facial hair, have to choose, and it's a dangerous game to play. And it's the game of the colored glasses.
Yeah, he's a big color. Yeah,
when you get older, man or woman, this is not a gender-specific observation. Man or woman, as you get older and you shave your head, or ladies, if you get gray hair or old gray witch hair like my wife's going to have, there will come a time when my wife, Andrea, will have long gray witch hair, and she'll have to decide what color novelty colored glasses she will wear to accentuate her odd gray hair. And for me, if I had to shave my head, the only problem with Jim Colbert, and you could say shots fired,
colored tiny round glasses.
You could say shot fired if you want to, whatever you want to say. But Jimmy could take his look from zero to hero in one pair of novelty colored glasses.
And a psychedelic top hat.
Psychedelic top hat is fantastic. If you're on a chef show and you're a morbidly obese judge and you have a bald head, you're going to wear a bow tie and novelty-colored glasses. If you're on a music show and you're a fat guy and you're going to sing, if you're on the one where they hit the button, they turn around, the voice, put on a pair of novelty-colored glasses. Sally Jesse Raphael, red novelty-colored glasses. Anyone that's bald that works in entertainment, you got to go with the colored framed glasses.
Here's a question we didn't get to ask him, but I wanted to know, like, because this guy can get up on stage. I believe even if he didn't do his bit, he could get up on stage and for an hour improv a funny show, right? Howie Mandel.
Well, he would think it's funny. Not everybody.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
May not be as good as what he's going to do because it's planned out, but I think he has the chops to. He does a lot of crowd work, and he says he likes it the best. Yeah. And he's funny. He's fast. Anyway, so you get put on a show like America's Got Talent where you only get one or two lines every 11 minutes.
They cut a lot of it out.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talking, but you're only going to get the best things. Or if you faint, or if you crap your pants, they'll put that in.
But there's 4 judges, and then with all the show and Terry Crews and stuff, like Howie Mandel doesn't get to do that much, right?
Yeah.
So and they don't even need him to. So it's a great gig because you sit back and you just have to do one liner, right?
Watch a bunch of stuff. Drink some Coca-Cola.
But that must be hard for him because he could do it himself. Because he wants to be funny. You see what I'm saying? He has to hold back.
Also, it's the way it's cut. I feel like they're sitting in that chair for 18-hour days.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'd rather throw sod. Seriously, because at least I'm up and down moving. I'm in the sunshine.
Yeah.
I can go get a Gatorade.
It's makeup, and then it's
It's also 60 degrees inside.
Yeah. It's a lot of waiting.
The Jabberwockies, one of their masks fell off. We got to cut that again. Let's do the intro again. All right, places, everyone.
We're going to clean up the foam from the mad scientist, and then there's that's a half an hour. Then and then there's union breaks. It's a insane long 14-hour day.
It sounds terrible to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like I would way hate it.
But then $1 million paycheck. Yeah. So it's for that amount of money you do it. But
what a nice guy though. And I'm glad that we chose right because I like to give you guys the behind the scenes with the interviews that we do, and I think we chose right in not letting him know that we know the Dana White thing is fake because he gave us 10 more minutes of Howie.
Yeah.
Who cares if he's lying to us? He don't know us. He don't know who we are.
Yeah. And
if you were my friend, I would feel insulted. If this were the second or third call, I'd be a little offended.
Well, that's what sucks about the internet. Remember old radio days? There was no way to find if something was fake or not.
Yeah, so you can make all the stupid people listening to you believe it too.
Yeah, you're writing a trade or whatever. But there was no way to look it up. And so now, except for the Bill Burr thing, no one has. There's speculation, but Bill Burr hasn't admitted it. Oh, Corrigan or Howie, no one said.
No.
Dana White, because
but Dana White's dumb.
He just said, "Oh, it's fake."
It's fake. He fake it. He walk off. Me no. Me get told what to do. Me walk off.
If he told me to slap my wife, I'd do that too.
I'm on Trump cabinet.
All right.
Should we get out of here?
Yeah. Let's get out of here. HowieMandel.com for tickets.
Yeah. Snag your tickets. And again, thanks to our friend Bill for setting that up. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we will see you tomorrow. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We're doing Live Call Thursday. We got our first caller on the line. Ryan, are you there?
I am here.
So, Ryan, what are you up to today?
I'm taking lunch right now from work.
Okay, what's lunch? What are you eating?
I had 2 cans of tuna, 85 grams of broccoli, and a non-fat Greek yogurt.
Are you?
Wow.
We saw you at the pinball deal. A lot of the women that were at the pinball deal very aggressively calling you a snack, squeezing your pectorals, undressing
which
you
one
with
was
their,
Ryan?
Undressing you with their eyes.
Which one was me?
Yeah. I thought I was
I met my wife on Craigslist. I'm that guy.
Yeah, he's Craigslist.
I need more information.
Well,
because I got drunk.
The whole chat room was they're all snacky. They were so yes.
Hold on, I thought I was the fittest guy at our Twitch pinball meetup.
Are you training because Tom ate he too ate tuna, but he ate an emergency Walmart ration meal. Tom ate a Walmart nuclear bomb meal.
It was just one of John Graham's left over. I didn't want to go to Publix.
Yeah, John thinks it's the end of the world, and John Graham is storing his emergency meals at our studio, and Tom got into one, and it was Mexican tuna salad.
So, Ryan, you know anything about gas? Because we were talking about that Gene Hackman death. Apparently, him and his wife were found dead, and the dog in their house.
I'm glad you mentioned the dog. I think you got to mention the dog.
Well, that's what made everybody think, well, because if it's just you and your wife, I think people's minds immediately go to murder, suicide.
Well, it can go in a lot of ways. So if it goes, hey, let me take you through the range of emotions.
Yeah.
Hey, Gene Hackman died. Oh my God, that's so tragic. He's such a great
heart attack.
Yeah. Well, how did he go? They don't know, but they found his wife next to him dead. Oh my God, he killed everybody.
Yeah.
No. They found the dog too. Oh, so it was a carbon monoxide. No. He beat the dog to death with a bat.
No.
You see how it goes? It goes up, down, up, down, up, down.
So my theory, like everybody's like, oh, it's carbon monoxide or some gas leak, but there's so many safeguards nowadays with gas that, and especially he's got money.
Yeah, it's foolproof at this point.
Well, I figure like if you don't got any money and you're cutting some corners and you don't got any detectors and you got some old gas stove, but if everything's state of the art and you got money. It seems like accidents is hard to happen.
A lot of these guys that are old timers, it was in Santa Fe, that are out like in the wilderness or whatever. Like I don't know this. I'm projecting this, but they like to do things that are like authentic. Like you can't have this is a '57 Chevy. Everything's all original, still runs off.
He's using an antique heater.
I don't know if that's the case. But anyway, Ryan, what's your theory on Gene Hackman's death? Let's be disrespectful and theorize.
Heart attack.
And then his wife, heart attack, too.
No.
I like this. I like that.
Did you hear anything we sang, Ryan? They all...
I said fart attack. So I made a gas joke.
Oh, he said fart attack. Oh, okay. You know what? You win. You won if you said fart attack. What did you want to talk about?
End of last year, you guys were thinking about how you're going to sunset the Bad at Business Beer Fest, and I had some ideas for replacement events.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but we're rebranding this year. We're in the process of going through that.
Yeah, but we're still doing the Bad Business Beer Fest.
We're still doing it, but
because we had some problems, then Tracy actually saved the day, and then but now she's already contacted all the sent the emails out.
She's already on it.
Yeah. We've learned our lesson, Ryan.
We're doing it right this time.
But what do you got?
Okay, I've got three ideas. 2 of them are terrible, and 1 is really good.
Give me the good one first.
Okay, the good one, you bring back running of the boobahs.
You know what? That's a great idea, but here's the problem. And we're probably gonna have this gentleman in very soon. Yeah. I talked to him on Saturday. Jason Bailey, Buckethead, a.k.a. Buckethead.
Oh, we partner with it. He knows all about the boobahs.
He's patient. He's boobah zero. He's the beginning of the boobah.
How did he get so many boobahs?
I don't know how he get it. Now, we legally cannot use that. He does own that. And if I know Jason the way I think I did, he locked that down John Morgan tight.
We can do anything we want. I'll steal anything.
I think we are going to get him in here. Maybe we do. Maybe we run him again.
Now, how did it go? Did the women just take their shirts off, they run in their bras?
Well, that's not what I want to do. I want to do full nudity, and they're long sloppers.
How do you even get women to participate in that?
Women are very... Did you not hear what they were doing to Ryan at our pinball event? They're squeezing him and poking and prodding him like a piece of meat. Women are having a moment.
Yeah, but
it's now He Too. It's the He Too movement.
But they don't want to have all the pictures of them running in their bra around some...
Maybe we just have them run around our studio.
All right, it's some horrible juggalo type radio event.
It's definitely going to be at the Sausage Castle. So it's Buckethead, Jason Bailey, the Bailey show.
He's going to want a piece of it.
He's going to want a piece of it.
I know. I'm not giving anybody a piece.
So we're at a stalemate here. We're going to have to change the name slightly too. It's going to have to be the running of the...
We can steal it.
The breast in the West or something,
All right, what's your bad ideas?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the middle tier idea.
Middle tier is what? Now, based on Tom doing business, middle tier is what psychology will force us to choose.
You always take the middle.
Yeah.
You wrestled John Boy and Billy at Bruce Rossmeyer's Destination Daytona.
They're too old. They're too old. And with my new hip, dare I say I'm going to be a powerhouse. With my new hip.
That's fine. You can just stand in the corner.
No. I'm going to be a powerhouse. With my new hip, it will be like I will now. My right leg will be so powerful.
Oh, you'll kick
It's titanium carbon fiber. Titanium carbon.
Yeah, you do that move where he like John Boy tries to kick you, and he's like, he's like,
I'll kick his trucker hat off.
It's like punching Superman.
Yeah. Which is the one with the glasses?
That's Billy.
That was Billy.
Billy, I will kick. And you tell them I said this. You tell them that Tom and Dan in Orlando, that Dan Dennis has been in radio for 30-some years, and when he gets his carbon fiber hip, he will kick Billy's glasses off. You tell him I said that. Next idea.
Okay.
Next idea.
This is the last one, and it's probably the worst one that I don't realistically see happening.
Okay.
But one of you has sex with Hulk Hogan while the other secretly records it, then we all watch it together.
All right, now you got something. You did them in the wrong order.
You really did. I mean, who's setting your top 5 list up, man? This is terrible.
You know nothing about lists.
You should have come to Tom. You should have texted Tom.
That's an idea.
Yeah, that is a brilliant idea.
Now you got something.
Hulk Hogan, never been more popular. Hulk Hogan's Real American Lager.
Yeah.
Tracy has a meeting with him next week. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Tracy has a meeting with Hulk Hogan's All-American Lager next week. We may become the next...
Endorsers?
Look out, Mo DeWitt, because Hogan may want to take the sponsorship of the studio.
The studio?
This may become the Hogan's Thermos. Welcome
You're like,
Hogan.
Delicious lager, brother. I can do it. It's easy.
I can totally watch this. Hi. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm enjoying taste that racism. Ice cold.
Some ice cold bliss piss. That'll sell.
You can't say that.
Okay.
We have another caller. Thanks for calling Live Call Thursdays, A Corporate Time. Who's this?
It's Alex. Your guys' organ music's too loud.
Oh, pardon me. Hold on, Alex. Let me turn off my organs.
Oh, no, it's organ music.
I forget to turn off my organs.
Oh, was that the whole time?
Yeah, I run them. I had 24-hour organ music.
Was that whole segment just loud organ music in the background?
Oh, all loud organ.
Well, just for him, not for our listeners.
I
know. I mean, it's like I've been doing this 30 years.
I was going to laugh and be we're leaving it in.
No. I would never do that.
So what do you want to talk about?
I'm at the Port St. Lucie Stadium watching Mets Astros. It's a 3-2 count, top of the first, no one on, no outs. Pitcher comes to his belt, and the pitch, it's hit. It's a fly ball, and it is caught by McNeil, the second baseman.
I love McNeil.
Violating FCC and MLB regulations by disseminating this game to you live.
I love McNeil, the rat. He's the rat, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
the squirrel, the flying squirrel.
I shouldn't like him as a Met. I'm supposed to hate all Mets, but if he ever wanted to come over to the Braves, I would gladly have him.
Well, let's do live baseball Thursdays on a Friday.
I do like live.
New batter at the plate.
Okay.
New batter, Yordan Alvarez, and here's the pitch. That's a strike down the middle, 86 miles an hour breaking ball.
Alvarez can hit, too.
Hey, you got some goods there, sir.
This is good.
You could.
You're as good as Chip Carey.
I'll face for radio.
Yeah, you're really good.
Right,
give us one more.
All right, ball. Here it comes. And the pitch. Oh, check swing. That's a ball.
All right.
95 miles an hour.
What's the count?
It is a 1-1 count, 1 out, no one on, top of the first.
Love it.
Clay Holmes is throwing his 8th pitch for the Mets.
Oh, it's a frozen rope.
And here comes the pitch. Oh, he hits it deep.
Nice.
It's going. Oh, it might not get out. It's to the warning track, and hey, Siri just caught it.
It's funny. I thought you were making
today at the ballpark.
I thought you were making this all up until I heard the crowd.
Yeah, this is awesome.
No, I'm at the ball game.
Yeah, live baseball Thursdays on Friday is a really good concept.
You call in if you're at a baseball game, and you just call what's happening. Well, we'll air it.
But you're doing a very good job.
We got a new batter at the plate. Right. This is Christian Walker at the plate, the new first baseman for the Astros.
Okay.
He's a righty. Okay, the pitcher's getting the call. He's lining up. Here's the pitch. Ooh, nice fastball inside. Strike.
You can hear the crowd. Too. This is great. This will be our last batter.
All right. What if he hits a home run? That's some good radio.
I mean, what are the odds on that, Tom?
I don't know, but he's running them.
Oh, low pitch there. Bad pitch in the dirt.
Yeah. I almost bet my life he won't hit a home run.
It's so hard to hit a home run.
Oh, I might want those odds.
I will go to my truck, get my gun, and kill myself on there.
That would be a horrible Thursday.
Why'd you laugh at that?
Oh, there's a pitch. Oh, that's a borderline ball call. It looked like a strike to me, but,
okay,
you know.
All right.
All right, so we got a 2-1 count, 2 outs, top of the first, no one on. Clay Holmes on the mound for the Mets, making his second start of the spring.
He's really good. He's really good. You're really good at this.
Thank you. We've got the pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss. That's a 2-2 count now.
Oh.
Crowd's getting a little excited, hoping we can strike him out here.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably get a full
he's
count.
shaking off the catcher right now. He's got the sign he wants.
Probably get a full count here.
And here comes the pitch. Up, foul ball, chopper down the third base line.
Goddamn chopper.
What's a chopper?
Well, he chopped it.
Chopper's when you kind of hit the top of the ball with the bottom of your bat, and it doesn't really go anywhere. You just kind of hit it in the dirt.
No sweet spot. No sweet spot.
All right.
All right. The pitcher had to kick some dirt off of his shoes. Now he's ready to get his next pitch in. It's his 14th pitch of the inning. Takes the ball to the belt. Here's the delivery. Ooh, up and inside. That's a ball. 3-2 count.
Yeah, I told you. What did I say?
Daniel knows baseball.
Well, he ain't going to swing at that.
Yeah.
You got to swing at that. All right.
No.
Full count. 2 outs. No one on. Here comes the pitch. Oh, he hits it into the air. It's going down the first base side. Oh, a diving play, and that is a fair ball.
Yeah!
And the runner gets to second base. Just on the foul line, diving catch not made.
There you go.
You know how nervous I got? I would have to kill myself.
You pay your bet.
I was seconds away because I was serious.
There's sweat on your brow.
Yeah. I almost had to kill myself live on air.
All right, hey, call us back next Thursday for more baseball, okay?
I will.
All right, buddy, we love you. Be good.
So, baseball games on a Thursday at
it's spring
noon?
training right now.
Oh, it's spring training.
So, like Vince, Vince Taylor, who was just on a Friday ago, he was basically giving me the rundown of all the different games he is going to go to. I wish I could go. Like, it would be really fun to just, like, grab a cooler and take off on a Tuesday and go see a game. Yeah. That would be fun.
There's so much spring training here in Florida, you know?
Yeah, we're very lucky to have it. I thought we had another call, but no, they hung up. But I did have some emails. I knew this was going to happen, so I got a couple of the old written word to throw in here. Now, this has yet to be delivered. This topic has come up on our show many, many times. This is the first I think we've had an email about it. This is from Kimberly. She says, "Hey, Dan, last week you were all talking about towels. Give me the address. I know the towel that will change your towel experience. It took tons of trying different towels, but my husband says that it's like using fancy hotel towels, and Andrea will like that they last. So you can use them and not save them. They are not too pricey. Send the address to Amazon to deliver, and the first set's on me. I don't have black, and then she just goes on to talk about it. Do you have good towels, right? Kind of feel like you guys spend the right money on the right stuff. Like your house is all redone, and I feel like you do the right stuff. The dentists are very cheap. And the towels that I'm very embarrassed to admit that the towels, if you open our main bedroom closet and you look at our stack of towels, you will not see any that are matching. You will see mostly black with bleach stains. You'll see some white with rust stains, yellow stains, frayed, beach towels, freebies, Aquatica, Wet and Wild, not even around anymore, strip club. You know what I mean? Like I have.
It's all over the place.
I feel like as a 48-year-old man that owns his own company with his friend, his business partner, that I should have
towels.
A set of 20 towels.
All the same. Best in the business.
Best in the business. Washcloths, mini towels, hand towels, like full-size bath sheets, the whole nine. Rug. The rug you step out, everything matching. I feel like you should have that.
So Crystal bought a bunch of standard white bath towels,
I
right?
like the white. I like white.
But then
Poo-poo, though.
And she rolls them up and she puts them in this decorative wood thing we have that's right below the ass.
I like that. No, I've seen that. It looks lovely. And your bathroom smells good, too.
And we use those, but then there's better brown, big, pillowy brown ones.
I like those.
I mean, it's
the
like...
bath sheet.
It is like they're twice the size and they're thick boys.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not allowed to use those. Those are decoration only. And I've used them before, and then they're awesome. I put them around. I'm like, oh, man, this thing is good.
Yeah.
And then she's like, use that. Use the white ones or go to use the beach towels. And, she's mad because she's like, they take up too much space in the washing machine. And then I'm like, why even have them then? They're decoration for who? I just look at them for me. I'm only one. Me and you are the only ones in here, and I'm looking at awesome towels I can't use.
Yeah, like I have 2 bath sheets, one for me, one for Andrea. And we bought them at Costco. This is what I got to do. Like I have to buy and they're gray. They don't match anything. They're great. They feel good on my body. I love them, but like they're not. Nothing is.
Nothing special.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of garbage in my towel closet.
Yeah. You need a $100 towel. Like
I think I do. I think I want that. You know what? I blame you a little bit. I blame you for this because you got me those pillows. And those pillows. Did you see the listeners that are buying them?
I know.
The listeners are buying them, and now there's a newer one. Now there's a newer pillow. They have my pillow now, but now it's like 75% colder. Like it'll freeze the back of your neck while you're sleeping.
Yeah. Maloof got those cool pillows.
No, this is Coop. This is Coop. This is like a $300 pillow, man.
We need to get in the pillow game. Like, that's where the money's at.
The My Pillow guy. Yeah, that guy.
He knows.
I'll wear a cross outside my blue polo shirt.
The reason why he's rich.
Yeah, stop this. I'll start screaming, stop the steal.
Yeah. I was just saying you got rich off the pillows because it's something that everybody, no one goes out and buys some nice pillows. They just settle for what they have.
Let's talk about this one right here. This is from Chris. He says, what's going on, T&D? Just wanted to say that I love the call segment. It has me crying. Can we have Tom bring back his top 10 list at least once a week? Also, straight talks were hilarious, even though you guys say that most people hated it. Thanks for the laughs from a fat trucker who poops his pants, just like Tom.
Chris.
That's Chris.
I'm not doing no stinking lists.
Are we going to do, you're not going to do any lists anymore?
Well, yeah, because, you got to understand, Daniel will look down on me and make fun of me.
Not if you told me to not. Yeah. If you told me we're going to take it seriously. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't make fun of it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you know what they want to hear? They want to hear the old man that you used to do. They want to hear all that. Yeah, they want to hear all that old ass.
Wants that.
Yeah, they want to hear it. But then if Daniel starts doing it, there's no way I can keep a straight face.
You'd be like, what are you doing?
I'll be hiding. I'll be like, oh my God, he's doing the old man again. 25 years ago.
I haven't done that forever. I haven't done that forever.
Because people think they want to see it, but when you start doing it again, you're like, it just doesn't hit the same.
It's like a Corey Feldman's been dancing with Michael Jackson, and he's 70 years old now. But Corey Feldman is still dancing the same way as Michael Jackson that he did when he was a young boy.
But now he's an old man.
And now he's trapped as white Michael Jackson.
He's older than Michael Jackson was.
He is. He made
by
it
a lot.
So does that make him? Let me ask you this. If Corey Feldman took on the outward persona of Michael Jackson as a white goonie, does that make him, since he's still alive, the real Michael Jackson?
Didn't he get molested by Michael Jackson?
No. Other people.
Yeah, but didn't he hang out with... He got molested by someone, the Hollywood...
He says that he was molested by someone, but I don't think it's Michael Jackson, because here's my proof.
Yeah.
If you were molested by Michael Jackson, why do you assume his persona?
Well, that's what happened to you. He got screwed up.
Yeah. If somebody molested me, I'm not going to be like, you know what, Indiana Jones molested me, so for the rest of my life, I'm going to carry a whip. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do I'm going to go the opposite direction than my molester.
No, but you get stuck in whatever, like,
he's stuck.
Well, it's like hypersexual women. It's because something happened when they were young.
Yeah.
And then now, and you would think it would be the opposite. You'd be disgusted by this, but somehow you crave it, which is a weird, sick thing. It's a weird.
Terrible.
No. It's just like, why are you hypersexual now because of this situation?
Next question. Let's keep going. This will be our last one. Hello, show. If you were to become a piece of furniture, what would you be? Strange question, but interesting nonetheless.
I got the perfect one.
Okay.
Ottoman. That's my favorite piece of furniture.
Ottoman.
Because it can store stuff inside, like blankets and other bric-a-brac.
Is it, what constitutes furniture?
What the standard,
your standards?
Yeah. Your sofas, your chair, any chair adjacent thing.
I think the favorite piece of furniture, though, one of the favorites is, I think people like love seats. They're very popular.
All right.
That might be a love seat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Although no one ever sits together like you're supposed to in a love seat.
Love seats just for one fat person.
It's for one. It should be called a fat seat.
Yeah. Have you ever been to when I go to the doctor now, I take great pride in, if I go to like Quest or wherever you got to get your blood done. I'm doing all this stuff for my hip surgery.
Yeah.
I take great pride in finding the largest chair they have and sitting in that. Because they have large chairs.
Yeah.
And they'll have bigger ones. They have like 3 sizes. They have 3 sizes of doctor's chairs, I've noticed. There's regular, then there's armless. It's just a chair, and there's no arms on it.
Right.
That's if you have like bangles and spangles and hoses. Maybe you have some oxygens and stuff on you, and the arms might get in the way.
Okay.
And then there's the jumbo with the arms, and I always go jumbo with the arms.
Why? Just so
I
you
don't
can
know.
be little man, big chair?
Yeah, little man, big chair. It's comfortable. Like, it's kind of comfortable sitting in the big chair.
That's got the opposite Chris Farley.
It makes me feel like I'm just outside latitudes in a novelty Adirondack, like taking a photo with my wife. You want to do another? You want to keep going?
No, we're out of time. We're out of time. We will see you tomorrow.